Yes, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of the Klyph Notes podcast. A really special episode, number 177. This one I get an opportunity to chop it up with someone who's been in my circle for a long time, man. Anthony Sanchez of Runaway Productions is my guest on this episode as he prepares to celebrate the 20th anniversary of Runaway Productions, and it's a birthday celebration. It's happening on February the 21st at the Star Theater. And for those who don't know, Anthony is coming back from very significant health issues. About 6 years ago, Anthony suffered a number of strokes, and the fact that he is still here and fighting is an amazing story. And so in this episode, I have a chance to chop it up with Anthony and his lovely wife, Samantha. He was so impacted by the strokes that it's really difficult for him to communicate. And so in this episode, you'll hear from Samantha as she works to help interpret some of the things that may be difficult to understand. I sent Anthony a series of questions ahead of time, so he was able to send answers to those as we get into a lot of the history of Runaway Productions and my history with them. As we talk about putting this show together and all of the individuals who are on the bill and people who have been on this journey with him. This episode is going to be released here on all of the audio channels that you're used to hearing the Klyph Notes podcast. I'm also releasing the video on YouTube at DJ Klyph. We worked to get subtitles in just so that people could really capture what Anthony was sharing. In the video, you'll also see another way that Anthony has been affected by the stroke is he has difficulty swallowing. And often throughout the video, you'll see he's using a towel to help him with that. But the significance, again, of him continuing to work back in partnership with Samantha to health, yet doing something that he's so passionate about, which is putting on shows. I really feel honored to just help tell part of his story on this very special episode 177 of the Klyph Notes podcast, featuring Anthony Sanchez. Beat. Yes, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of the Klyph Notes podcast. You know, it's available everywhere you get your podcasts. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio. Literally anywhere that you listen to your podcast, you can get this podcast, man. Yo, this one's a really special one, and I'm excited to have an opportunity on a couple of different levels as we talk about, for my journey in doing this thing. This is someone who is really influential and who I've had a chance to rock with over a number of years as we prepare to celebrate the 20th anniversary of Runaway Productions with my guy, Anthony Sanchez. So for those who don't know, Ant has been working his way back from some pretty significant medical challenges, and he hasn't done it alone. Always has had crew around him, people who have been a part of the journey, and now he's got somebody with him who is truly a partner in everything that he does, and his lovely wife, Samantha. And they're both going to be joining me on this episode of the Klyph Notes podcast. And so for those who weren't aware, who haven't had a chance to chop it up with Ant since he's been back on the scene, his medical issues have really impacted his how he moves. You get to hear differences in his speech, and but you get to see him. You get to see him moving on screen. All right, I'm gonna stop talking. We about to bring Samantha and Anthony live to the Klyph Notes podcast as we here. Runaway Productions 20th anniversary in full effect. Anthony, what's up, B?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. Thank you so much for doing this. Samantha, how are you?
I'm fantastic.
Man, thank y'all so much for being on the podcast. So, as I was talking about in the intro, I had a chance to send you some questions, Anthony, for the podcast, which, so you know, I normally don't do. Normally, I just be throwing stuff at people, bro. So, thank you for creating a new opportunity. So, Anthony sent me some answers to some of these questions, man. And as I was thinking about doing the interview, this is one of the questions that I was asking myself because I really didn't remember. Anthony, what is your recollection of like how we first connected, how we first started building together?
So we laid up some of the answers to the questions, so I figured I'd read them so it'd be a lot easier to get through. Otherwise, translating a speech might be a little bit more difficult.
Okay.
So with the question, his answer is, I'm really not sure if I met you first through doing your radio show or hosting, but I knew you would be a great host for my events. No one had more knowledge on the local hip hop scene than you. Plus, it didn't hurt that you were a pretty nice dude. I knew I knew as soon as I met you, you would be a great face to Runaway Productions. I was lucky you were into the idea.
That's what's up, man. And it's funny too because I know that when we started building together, you were always kind enough to come on the radio show when I was on when Welcome to the Neighborhood was on KZME. So you would make the trip out to Gresham when we were out there, and had an opportunity to talk about all of the many shows that you were doing, which is always really cool for me, man. And I feel like at that time I was really getting into meeting a lot of the artists who you were building with, who you were doing shows with, and you know, doing Runaway production shows were some of the first opportunities that I had a chance to get on stages and host events, man. So it's been, I appreciate your kind words. You know what I mean? Thank you so much, bro. I really appreciate that. With that, I was wondering, how did you even come up with the name Runaway Productions?
So this is a question I've always wanted to be asked, so great question. Well, I guess first, I really like the song Runnin' by one of my favorite groups, The Far Side. And second, I wanted a way to represent an individual running away from the negativity. Plus, that song was produced by one of my favorite producers of all time, Jay Dilla.
No doubt, man. Dilla this month, which is really, really cool. Been watching a lot of the tributes. DJ Ambush and I have an opportunity to do a tribute this month at No Requests.
Nice.
Yeah, man. Really excited to be able to do that. I do remember that one of the events that I had a chance to do with you was when Trey and Fat Lip and Latyrix, I think it was Latyrix, did a show in Portland.
Yes.
Yeah, and that was so dope too. That might have been one of the first times that I got an opportunity. I know it's the first time I got an opportunity to meet Fat Lip.
That was a good one.
Yeah, it definitely was. It was a dope show, man. Had a chance to meet Latyrix that night as well. As in terms of doing shows, conversations that you and I would have and then I would have with other folk. And I think that the 20th anniversary show that's happening this month is an example of that. Your shows have often, not always, but often been multi-genre. Why do multi-genre shows? Like, what was the thing that drove you to do that?
In a way, I didn't choose representing several genres. The music chose me. I guess if someone asked me what my favorite music is, I would probably say hip hop, soul, and rock. Growing up in the 80s and 90s, I learned to love it all.
No doubt, man. and the
They're
depth.
very eclectic shows, aren't they?
Yeah, yes, absolutely, absolutely. But I also think that you influenced me in talking to other artists or individuals who wanted to put on shows, but artists as well, in terms of growing an audience, right? Because one of the things that I learned about what you did with Runaway Productions by doing these multi-genre shows is you were introducing audiences to artists that they may not have learned of otherwise, right? Because somebody said, "Oh, I don't listen to rap," but they would go to a Runaway Production show and they'd get to see some amazing creatives on stage. And so, by you doing that, I think that you really helped a lot of these artists grow their audience, and really help grow the scene here in Portland, bro. Um, I I sort of moved from just hosting shows to starting to do a little bit of show promoting myself, which um, when Star Child, rest in peace, was alive, he used to tell me, "Man, Klyph, you ain't built for this." And I understand what he meant by that. But in doing what you have done for the last 20 years, man, which is amazing to think about, um, for you, what was the hardest part of being a show promoter?
I would say the hardest part for me was deciding which awesome groups or artists to have on a show. There's just so many amazing artists out there creating solid music.
Yeah, yeah, I agree, man, and going through the process of of giving all of these different people platforms is really huge, bro. Um, I wanna I want to on that note, I want to skip down and ask you a question. I think I asked you this question. Hold on. No, I'm gonna stay on task, bro.
That's
uh,
okay. You can always ask him a question and I can always interpret for him
okay.
if something's not enough out of here.
I just think the 20 years of doing shows in Portland is a huge deal, especially in Portland, especially with a lot of the shows um, that you have promoted and a lot of the artists that you did put on stages. Um, I think I asked a question to you. Yeah, the ninth question. Are you able to see that? Are you able to see the impact that you've had on the Portland music scene?
He says, I don't know about any impact, but I still have great friends from my years of booking music in and around PDX, and that goes for all genres. I just hope there is some babies that are named after me from some of the couples who may have met at one of my events. He said, I just wanted to say one last thing. I feel lucky and blessed that there is still so many amazing artists that are willing to work with me, as you can see by my lineup at the next show at the Star Theater on the 21st.
No doubt. No. And on that note, um, I just want to throw this up here, man. This is the lineup for the event. Which again, these are artists who you have worked with over the years. Such a full roster. I know that it was said that it's almost more like a festival than a concert. But in 20 years of doing this, man, that's a lot of um, just a lot of people who have rock stages with you, man, all over the city of Portland. Um, the event is going down on the 21st of this month, February the 21st. Tickets are available right now. You can, if you go to the Star Theater's website, you can get tickets. Doors are at 8. Um, the lineup is nuts. The lineup is so dope, man. I have an opportunity to host this event for you. And once again, thank you for extending the opportunity for me to do that.
And I just say too, there was so many more artists who reached out to him that want to be part of this show, and he's like, "It's already super stacked. I can't add more people. And I would love to, but it's amazing how many artists have reached out to him, being like, please put me on the show." It's pretty impressive, actually.
No doubt. And let me ask you this: with with doing an event like this and having people um, reaching out to you and wanting to be a part of the show. I did not ask you this question in ahead of time. Sorry, Anthony. But does that give you um, a sense of fulfillment to know that even though you haven't been on the scene doing shows for a while, that people are still looking for being a part of Runaway Productions?
It makes me feel good at maybe I just right.
He's just saying that maybe you think you did things right.
And
Yeah,
He's saying that having so many people reach out to him makes him feel like he's doing the right thing.
yeah, no, man. In 20 years, we've had a chance to see a lot of growth in Portland. But we've also seen, like we see in everything, I think a lot of ups and downs. And for a time, there was a very public um, disconnect. I'm going to say disconnect between the city and the local scene, specifically the local hip hop scene. But through the years, you've always seemed to have maintained these really great relationships with venues in Portland. Um, you know, can you talk about how you were able to do that, how you were able to maintain such good relationships with the local venues in the city?
I think it helped that some music venues took a chance hiring me as their in-house booking agent early on, so that gave me a nice foot in the door.
Yeah. Um, the yeah, I did ask this the question I asked you. What do you think about the current state of the local music scene, specifically, the idea that now we have larger venues, we have Live Nation that has been approved. It seems like to build a big venue. I know that Monkey is working with the group to convert the old Nordstroms in Lloyd Center to an event space. Um, what are your thoughts on that? Now we've got Doug Fur is not where they were. I know that they're taking over the old restaurant that I can't think of the name of right now. Spot. So things are different now. Larger venues in the city, and the challenges for maybe some of the smaller venues where you did a lot of the shows.
I said, since my stroke 6 years ago, I don't really know much about the local scene and what's doing what. In fact, I started having small living room concerts similar to NPR's Tiny Desk in our living room just to feed my soul. So I've gone in the opposite direction. I didn't really know too much about Live Nation. All I know is I miss Ash Street Saloon, Barbadi's Pan, and the Satyricon, and many others that are no longer in our city.
Yeah, so many dope Ash Street for sure, man. And I got to see a couple shows at Satyricon before it closed, which was a really dope venue. And I don't know if you know the answer to this, Anthony, but the radio show that I do now is on X-Ray FM, and X-Ray took their name from um, a venue in Portland called X-Ray Cafe, I think. And
that was my old boss, Jay Shannon venue.
That was my old boss, Trey Shannon's venue.
that's so that's so crazy. So again, just you having the history of the scene so much, man. It would be so great to to get your perspective on where we came from. I think that's really dope. So we're gonna do a part two to this for real. um uh One of the things that you did with Runaway Productions is you started a festival, like a whole hip hop festival. And I was wondering what prompted you to start the Northwest Hip Hop Fest.
It says starting the Northwest Hip Hop Festival came out of working with so many great acts that I wanted to give them a platform to showcase their artistry. There was just so many acts here in the Northwest that I was just trying to make another event to show them off.
Which that you absolutely can remember doing shows at running back and forth between Kelly's Olympian and Ash Street. And I feel like I don't remember if Dante's was a part of the festival, but you were like, man, we was all over the place, bro. That was an amazing time to think about all of the folks who came through local, as well as people who came through from outside.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, bro. Do you happen to have um, any video of any of the shows that you did?
No, none.
Yeah, no, none.
So please, any of that, I would love to see them.
Yeah, if there was any out there, I'd love to see them.
Word up. Um, and I actually made, bro. So Anthony, I going through just trying to clean up some stuff, and I have a hard drive that's just got a ton of stuff in it. It's actually got all of the early episodes of Welcome to the Neighborhood when I was at KZME. So it's got all of the times that you came through. And I'm actually gonna because those interviews, those shows are no longer available since KZME went away. So I'm gonna
Yeah, but love to hear those.
Yeah, I'd love to hear those.
Yeah, I'm gonna start releasing those, man. I have to go through and edit some stuff, but I say that to say I'll have to see. I might actually have some video of some of the concerts that you did as a part of the Northwest Hip Hop Festival. So I'll let you know. Um, did you have a dream show that you wanted to put on, and were you successful in making it happen?
I had many over the past 20 years, but I guess if I had to pick one, I would say when I got the opportunity to work with Rakim. In my eyes, Rakim is the Michael Jordan of hip hop, but I know I'm an old man now, so I'm sure a lot of young dudes would argue that statement, but it was definitely working with Rakim.
No doubt, bro. I don't know where it is. I should have pulled it out to show you. So there's a picture of you, me, my G, and Rakim. Um,
That's a good one.
bruh, that was that show. So let me say this. Let me take a minute just to say thank you because to me, Rakim is the greatest MC to ever grace a microphone. And
Me too.
yeah, right. And so thank you for giving me the opportunity to host that event. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to meet someone um, who was super humble. He tagged I brought my vinyl. He tagged. I had a chance to chop it up for a minute. Um, he
Yes.
had an opportunity to do. Do you remember the promo video that we shot?
No.
It's actually on YouTube. So I'm gonna send you the link. It's on YouTube. Um,
Yeah, that would be awesome.
yeah, I'll send it to you. Um, you actually did the voiceover, and it was so dope. So I'm gonna send that to you, and it's out there on YouTube for anybody who wants to see it.
Yeah, I don't remember that at all.
He said, I don't remember that at all.
I'll definitely send that to you, bro. Um,
It's pretty crazy the strokes what have taken part of his memory and what things haven't been taken. Like some of the things that he remembers, like
mhm.
I don't even think he remembered prior to the strokes. So it's just kind of crazy to see how the strokes have affected his memory in different ways. So I'm surprised he doesn't remember. That's one that I feel like he would remember.
Do you remember the show?
Yes,
Yeah, the show.
I remember that jump from
He remembers the show real well.
Yeah. Um, uh, so as you continue to work through healing and recovering from your strokes, what prompted you to want to start doing shows again?
All right. So, as I said earlier, I have put on a few living room shows similar to the NPR Tiny Desk in our living room, and that allowed me to dip my toes back in a little bit. That also gave me some confidence that maybe I can still do this with a little help. I just wanted to say one last thing that I am very lucky and blessed that I have been able to pursue my dreams for so long, but none of it would be possible without the help of the community, my caregivers, and my wife, Samantha. She was there for me and this whole runaway dream years before my strokes and continued to be by my side, which has allowed me to continue to create. So, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for that. Now, see ya February 21st at the Star Theater for our 20th anniversary party.
No doubt. And so for everybody who's the video, we've got the flyer up there. Um, we're really working hard to get folk in the building for a couple reasons. One, because it's a huge celebration to celebrate 20 years of doing anything, let alone promoting shows, is a really really big deal. And so, if you are in the region, not just if you're in Portland, but if you're in the region, we encourage you to come out. February the 21st to Star Theater. The lineup is going to be ridiculous. people who you have celebrated in the past, maybe folk that you haven't seen rock in a while. It's a chance to just really see a really great show. A dope venue to have it in. So if you've been to a show at the Star Theater, you know how fly a venue it is. And then I think most importantly, man, an opportunity to see Anthony and to support what he's done, the work that he's done for the Portland music scene is just really really invaluable. The last show that you did, when was the last one that you did, Ant?
Back in May last year,
Yeah,
the get together.
yeah, the get together, and that one almost sold out, didn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
very,
so
very close.
yeah, so don't wait. Like, go get your tickets. Go. I'm gonna put the link in the bio. Go get your tickets. We definitely want to see you in the building. Just come out and rock with us. It's gonna be a really, really good time.
Can I say one more thing?
Hey, bro. Yeah, the floor is yours, man.
I'm super proud of you. You've been doing big for years. Now you're the DJ for the best MC in town. Could you say that?
He says that you're doing it big, you're the best, and now you're the big MC in town.
Good. Good. The DJ for the best MC in town.
You're the best DJ.
Versus them.
Oh yeah, you're the best DJ for the best guy in town, versatile, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
For
man.
the best.
Yeah.
That and
I'm proud of you.
Proud of you.
thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Once again, as I think about my journey in what what DJ Klyph Productions has become with the radio shows and with the podcast and with the live events, um, the the early years of doing that, you were a big part of that, Anthony, and um, I don't take that for granted, man. I really really appreciate being on this journey with you, and for you, continuing to allow me to be a part of things as an old man as you have, man. Thank
Hey, I'm the lucky one.
I'm the lucky one.
you. um Again, I didn't, you know just a couple of other things, and because I didn't send you questions here, but as people get a chance to see you, as people get a chance to hear you, I can remember, um, just before you got ill, we were really building, and you were just sharing stuff with me, like things that you wanted to do. Um, and it's cool to have Samantha here to ask this question. One of the things that I saw that came out as you were promoting this show on the 21st, the 20th anniversary of Runaway Productions, was that you were thinking about actually creating a record label. Is that
I
something?
wish.
I wish.
Were you influenced by just all of the artists that you had around you to just create another platform for folk?
There's just so much awesome music that DJ blah blah and if I that then I wanted to provide it.
Yeah, he had the way to provide it. That's what he wanted to do. So
Yeah. Also mentioned the smaller at the house, sort of the Live Nation feel for doing that, and I haven't had a chance to make it out to one yet, but have had a chance to see photos of cats who've come through, and is that something that you want to continue to do, or do you want to continue to do big shows? Um, you know, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, probably a big couple more living room to that I think I'm done.
yeah, I think he's gonna have a few more living room shows, and then he thinks he might be close to being done. He says that now, but I know him. There'll probably be another show. Maybe not to this size, but there'll definitely, I think, be another show. But we'll definitely have some small living room ones that we'll invite people to.
But I guess I'm done with just funny event as this guy.
Yeah, he's just done with doing events at this scale.
Yeah.
It's taken a lot to put, like, for somebody who's never done this other than helping him, the amount of time and work he puts in, even prior to his strokes, is just the magnitude of the amount of time he spent. And even with all the help that he has with, our friends that are helping out, it's still so much work to put one of these on. It's a lot. It is a lot of work. So I think he's ready to take a little bit of a break for a minute.
It is a matter of taking, bro. For you to be able to do it to this degree, I think is it's a beautiful thing, man. So once again, I just want to encourage people, pull up February the 21st, Star Theater. It's the 20th anniversary of Runaway Productions. The lineup is bananas.
And this birthday.
And it's his birthday on the 24th, so it's also a birthday show.
Oh, word. Okay. Listen, y'all, if you are listening to this, you have to buy a ticket now. Like, what better birthday gift to give to Anthony than to come out and support this event? February 21st. It's the 20th anniversary of Runaway Productions / the Anthony Sanchez birthday celebration. So pull up. Tickets are available right now. They will likely sell out because we almost sold it out last time. Yeah, definitely come on out, man. Listen, bro. Again, I can't thank you enough for doing this. I really I wanted folk to know where you are, where you've been, and that you still have the passion, the fire to do great things. And I'm really happy for you, Samantha. My wife and I talk about it. Thank you so much for being his rock and helping him through this process. We love you guys, for real.
Thank you. We love you too, very much.
Absolutely.
And give that wife a hug for us.
Oh, definitely, I will. I'm gonna do that. Anthony Sanchez and Samantha, Runaway Productions. Is the 20th anniversary of the Runaway Productions event that's happening at Star Theater. The lineup is crazy. It's also Anthony's birthday celebration. So pull up, get your tickets right now. The ticket link will be in the bio. Thank y'all so much for coming on the show, man. For real.
Thank you.
All right, man. We'll see you soon.
See you soon.
All right.
Okay.
Yes, y'all. Anthony Sanchez, Runaway Productions. It is happening on the 21st at the Star Theater. Once again, thank you to Anthony. Thank you to Samantha. Thank you for y'all for tapping in. Remember, the podcast is available wherever you get your podcasts. And then, always, last but never ever least, big ups to the homie Theory Has It for creating the official theme song to the Klyph Notes podcast. Until next time, y'all be blessed. Peace.